В результате большевистской политики и возникла советская Украина, которую и в наши дни можно с полным основанием назвать Украина имени Владимира Ильича Ленина. Он ее автор и архитектор. Сейчас благодарные потомки посносили на Украине памятники Ленину.
Around the world, in the West as well, claiming that in some real sense, Ukraine isn't an independent state. It's part of Russia. It has been historically. It's not Germany. It's not a country with a clear, like, historical existence. It's a... And so what do you, so you're obviously not very happy with that argument, but that is being made continually. And so
I know. Of course, Germany is naturally a country. Really? That wasn't a natural thought until 1871.
Right.
And of course, Hitler had a view of what Germany included, and it included things like Austria and Czechoslovakia. Mm-hmm. You can look at Austrians and say, well, they're Germans. Mm-hmm. Well, they speak German. They're Catholics. The dominant religion in Germany is Protestantism. Austrians are largely Catholic. You can tell when you get into Austria and southern Germany, by the way, when the greeting changes from Guten Tag to Grüß Gott.
So then how do we reliably identify when there is a country?
Well, okay, let me come back to that because there's a straightforward answer to that. Look, if we want to get into the business of talking about how it should be the case that all peoples who identify ethnically with other peoples should be unified in country in single states, then you are signing the world up for global war on a Hobbesian scale of a sort that we have never seen. Because look at Africa, look at Asia,
look at Canada.
So
the fundamental point here is that mere linguistic historical similarity is not a sufficient condition for presuming a superordinate autonomy.
Exactly.
And so we have other mechanisms
to
decide what a country is.
And they're very straightforward mechanisms. We live in a world where there is a United Nations and there is a body of states. And the community of states recognizes a new member by recognizing it. And we say, we recognize you as an independent state, and we establish diplomatic relations with them, and we give them a seat in the United Nations, and then they are a state with all of the rights that any other state has. Mm-hmm. We did that with all of the states of the former Soviet Union. And Russia signed up to all of that.
You don't even need to get to Maidan 2014 or invasion 2022 to talk about the Ukrainian nation. I mean, it's true those things have consolidated the Ukrainian nation, or they've put the Ukrainian nation before our eyes and given us an opportunity to examine it. But the idea that there's a Ukrainian nation is just much older than that. The modern Ukrainian national movement goes back 200 years, and before that, there are actually pre-modern elements of Ukrainian nation, far before there are actually elements of such a nation in many other places. I mean, not to make the point, too strongly, but the history of Ukraine is much older than the history of the United States of America, however you wish to calculate it.